it's the Heat hitting on the board first.
Alright, I fixed the freaking controls.
Left side Rose. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Something was wacky.
You know, his
so I got it all
ability is
fixed.
matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Bulls making a switch here. Murphy's checked in.
And one of the things you know you're going to see from this guy is his skill running the pick and roll. He knows exactly how to run a defender directly into that screen, and then the beautiful passing ability, setting up layups and jump shots.
And perhaps the best thing about him, Steve, is the way he takes charge down the stretch in close games. The higher the stakes, the better he plays.
He kicks it to Wade. Good ball movement here by the Heat. There's the triple. No good from LeBron.
Noah once again had a really solid season, but his field goal percentage numbers dropped from where they had been the past few years. I think part of it was not having Derrick Rose on the floor, and then also he was hurt. Plantar fasciitis bothered him some, but not having Rose, I think, led to Noah forcing the issue a bit.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And speaking of Noah, some dip into his finishing.
Not sure who the hell called that
his
timeout.
Injuries played a part in that.
Yeah, Coach Thibodeau rode him pretty hard. A career high in minutes. In fact, second most per game among centers in the NBA last season. Remember, he had the foot injury during the playoffs. He's always had some health issues, but he's battled through them.
Are you surprised that he's become the warrior that he's become in the NBA?
Not really, Kevin. He's a winner at Florida, a guy who loved to play. He's got a lot of passion for the game.
Bosh. On the wing, Dwayne Wade. A floater gets it to go.
He's terrific with the floater, and that's not an easy shot.
The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Rose goes in and stolen by LeBron.
I'm still learning the controls here. Trying to do an icon pass. It doesn't make any
LeBron
sense.
left side. Here's Chalmers. Banked in off the glass.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
Here's Rose. After the made shot
What the fuck?
from Chalmers. Rose against Chalmers. Clock at 6. From the stripe. No luck.
Well, let me
And
pass the
Miami
fucking
the
ball.
other way now. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
It's Butler that time on the assist by Noah.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
And it's Wade penetrating. Leans. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Chicago's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Chalmers against Rose. Boozer. He dishes it to Murphy. Outside. Rose passes it to Boozer. Back to Rose. Puts it up from 12. No good. Now the
What the fuck?
Heat take it the other way. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Wade with the ball. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws.
You know, if you just look at the numbers without knowing who Dwayne Wade was, you'd think he was probably 6'7" or 6'8", but the way he blocks shots and rebounds, even at 6'4", he just plays much bigger than he really is.
No good on that one. And you go back, Clark, to that big man game for Wade, averaging about a block shot a game for his career.
Well, you think about it, he's 6'5", but he actually has a 6'11" wingspan, and you're not going to find a stronger guy at the shooting guard position. He's over 220 pounds, and there's nothing extra there, so he brings a lot to the table.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, it I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Now the dish to Chalmers. Chalmers off the pick from Mattia. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. The Heat need to get a shot off. Stolen by Noah. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Poked loose. And stolen by Chalmers.
Awesome. Didn't let him shoot it.
And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Stolen by Boozer. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Well, they're passing to Rose. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. Rose has got 5 points so far. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. And going against Chicago, their first game of the NBA's regular season.
And you know, guys, this is a basketball team that they faced in the conference semis last year and won that series. So there's some emotion here tonight. You can feel it out on the floor.
Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. The Heat trail by 3. They definitely have the psychological upper hand, you could say.
That's for sure, and I think that will definitely fan the flames, Kevin.
LeBron dishes to Chalmers. The pass to Bosch. Muhammad's there. The 8-footer gets the bucket. Bosch has got his first points in this one. The Bulls have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Now here's Rose. 5 points in the game. Outside down. Feeds it to Muhammad. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. 6 to shoot. Here's Rose. Chicago calls timeout. And now here's the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's best teams from three-point land a year ago. The Heat in second.
You know, a solid three-point game can be the cornerstone of an effective offense. I mean, it adds a little pop and punch to what a team is doing offensively. And last year, this team was not made up of just good three-point shooters. They had great three-point shooters.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Oden comes in for Chris Bosh. That's Hasleman for Shane Battier. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession.
And now a look at Dwayne Wade here. Great year for him last year. 6th in steals. He was 8th in scoring. And he was also a top 20 shooter from the field. So really a nice all-around offensive year for him.
And Steve, I don't think you can overstate his steal numbers. I mean, they're way up there. And it's a credit to his concentration and his quickness and his aggressiveness. I tell you what, it's hard to argue with the record for Coach Tom Thibodeau of the Bulls, but the rumor mill has it that the front office hasn't been happy with how hard he's ridden his top players. Luol Deng missed time last season with the hamstring injury. Joakim Noah came down with plantar fasciitis. Hey, those things happen, and I'm not quite sure you can put that at the feet of Tom Thibodeau.
Ray Allen, he's checked in for the Heat. Norris Cole comes in for Mario Chalmers.
Apparently it's very easy
and
to
a
foul
tough
people
break
when
for
you
the
jump.
defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Here's Cole, and that one's good. Cole's got his first points of the night. And going back to Tom Thibodeau and that minutes load on his stars, it seems it's getting harder for players to weather big minutes, Steve, these days.
I think it's going to be really interesting going forward to see this Bulls team this year and beyond. Will that wear them down? Their guys play too many minutes. They've had a lot of injuries. I think it's time to scale back a little bit on the minutes played.
Here's LeBron after the made shot from Gibson. Shot clock at 6. It's LeBron with the drive. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And the lead goes right back over. This is a seesaw affair.
The game's there for the taking, but
Wow, 24-inch vertical.
1:22 left in the first quarter.
a lot of people picked the Heat to run away with the East last year, and they were right on target. They were just so far and away better than any other team in the East that just didn't see them losing much during the course of the season.
Because you said the Heat clinched the East pretty early.
Rose actually gets foul calls in this game. Unreal.
Steve, never easy to win when everyone expects you to win games, but the Heat didn't seem fazed by the pressure at all.
Well, this is a championship team, and I think once you win that first title, you get a different level of confidence, and that showed last season as Miami rolled to their second title in a row. Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare, then the Pacers really took them deep all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's stolen by Rose. Dunleavy kicks to Rose. The shot is off.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
LeBron with it. He's picked up by Dan. Cole, the pass to LeBron. He feeds it to Haslam. Allen outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Offline with his 3. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed, Clark, to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James's brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Bulls out front, up 1. Back after this from the American Airlines Arena. And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. And Steve and Clark and I are refreshed and ready to go here as well. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
Boy, the offense has been so smooth. Everybody working together, and you can tell they're getting good shots pretty much every time down.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine there. I mean, they keep the ball moving, they keep themselves moving, and as a result, they're piling up the points. You know, Mike Dunleavy, the former number 3 overall pick back in 2002, you know, he hasn't been a star, but boy, has he been steady and productive in a very long and solid NBA career.
And Cole kicks to Allen. The feed now to Cole. Pass to Vernado. Lewis outside. Over Dunleavy. Nice shot from the wing. And Dunleavy, very skilled at 6'9".
Yeah, he put up some pretty good numbers in Indiana for a while. He can pass, shoot, handle the ball. Son of a coach, of course, Mike Dunleavy Sr. And you can see where Dunleavy Jr. gets his understanding of the game.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
Yeah, they've been really strong in the paint, battling the glass.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, gentlemen, head coach Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat finally getting the respect he deserves now with their multiple championships. But his players, not afraid to rib him a little. Dwayne Wade said Spoelstra's favorite word, focus. He said, here's what it sounds like to play for my coach. Come on, guys, we have to focus. Next game. Come on, guys, it's about focus. Game 82. Guys, it's about focus. Kevin, it's all about that consistent message, right?
A steady hand, Doris. The players seem to really appreciate him. Bulls making a switch here.
People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Thibs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
Timeout called, the Heat. Going back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago, it is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them, and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round.
This is to Allen. Kicks to Bernardo. Lewis outside. Jacks up a three. Again, the miss by the Heat. Chicago leading. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on around the league today, and a lot of fans focused on that matchup for New York.
And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Cole dishes to Bernardo. He passes to Cole. Lewis. Again, the miss by the Heat.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. You know, regardless of who starts the break, seems like he's usually the one to finish it.
And that's because of how well he attacks the rim on the dead run.
And Miami making a change here. Chalmers is checked in.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round one in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round two.
To end the run, Lewis. Anderson throws it down with the quick putback jam.
Well, I love that aggression. Forget about the tip. Just grab the thing and slam it home.
Well, one away to get second chance points.
Man, don't take any risks. Just put that ball back in the hoop.
And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time, and they had questions constantly being asked if he would return, but the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal game one in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami. One of the great shooters in the history of the game. I mean, Ray Allen is just amazing with that deep range, incredible accuracy, and he can also put the ball on the deck a little bit once or twice, pull up jump shots, get to the foul line. Allen's just one of the most consistent scorers we've had in the game for a long time.
And he's rehearsed that motion for so long. It's automatic. I mean, it's something he can do in his sleep. He doesn't even think about the situation or the defender. He eyes his target and lets it fly.
Well, let's take a look at last year's top scorers. Fourth, LeBron James.
Now, he never took a night off. I mean, it seemed like he was scoring big all season long. Just a terrific year for him.
Heinrich against Allen. Noah's shot is off.
He's far too tentative in the paint. And even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
LeBron kicks to Lewis. Back to LeBron. And here's Heinrich. He has 6. Back to Noah. Snell. And Carlos Boozer gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. The Heat trail by 6. Here's LeBron, and he uses both hands to jam it in.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
Got a piece of it. Chalmers with it. Lewis on the way. Good ball movement here by Miami. James. Shot denied. They get it back. And the basket good. And now just a 2-point Chicago lead. Allen against Heinrich. Back to Boozer. Outside Teague. Heinrich outside. just 5 to shoot. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. Shard Lewis pulls it in.
The fucking pass button doesn't
And
work
he's
very
on
well.
1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And the officials call the foul, reaching out and committing the intentional foul here, and his teammates are baffled.
Yeah, everybody's kind of looking at him like, what are you doing? I mean, I think he just lost track of the situation.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Chris Bosh is checked in for Anderson. And Shane Battier subbed in for Rashard Lewis. And that one's good by LeBron.
Keeps changing players, too.
Nice little run here they're going on.
Now, the story is points in the paint part. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
Tipped away and stolen by Chalmers. Heinrich on the double team. Chalmers with it. Picked up by Teague. Blocked. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, guys, 2 straight titles in Miami since they decided to go small. Coach Eric Spoelstra said, quote, thinking conventionally that first season with LeBron, that was my biggest regret as a coach. I put LeBron in a box. LeBron was a small forward. That's what we knew. But after the Dallas series, we decided to start from scratch. We always talked about how versatile our team was, but we never thought about what that meant. We had to do away with convention. And guys, that started by playing LeBron at the 4.
What in the fuck is this?
And with his length and athleticism, he has all the tools. Doris, thank you. That's good. Now it's a 5-point Chicago lead.
Now, he's gotten his legs underneath him because he's having a heck of a quarter.
Well, you know, Carlos Boozer wasn't as efficient last season as we've seen in the past, and I think in large part it was due to the extended absence of Derrick Rose. He was the bailout option for the team on many occasions.
Teague, the pass to Boozer. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Boozer's got his first bucket of the night.
Well played right there, and you can feel the momentum changing.
I think this lead will continue to move upward unless something unforeseen happens.
The Heat trail by 7. And Clark, for Boozer, you talked about his offensive efficiency. Strong physical player, but he only averaged about, Steve, I think like 3 free throws a game last season.
Well, he's a fadeaway jump shooter. He's an excellent offensive. Player, pretty efficient in his scoring, but most of his post-ups end up in fadeaway jump shots, and that's why he doesn't get to the line very often.
Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for Kirk Heinrich.
Well, that's one way to get a dead ball.
It's stolen by Rose. Makes the lead pass. And stolen by Chalmers. And here's the fast break. Chalmers leading the way. Wade can't hit. Chicago leading by 5. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Oh, a nice defensive.
Did not hit that button.
The alley-oop. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Wade with the ball. Chicago grabs the miss. Noah's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. 12 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Wade. And count it from 19 feet away. Wade's got 7 points. So it's Chicago now. Right side, Boozer. That will count. And it's in. Oh, wow. He nails the buzzer beater.
Boy, a big bonus for them to end the quarter as he beats the buzzer.
Talk about maximizing every last possession you've got. Right there.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's the first game of the NBA season,
But on the halftime
Blah,
report,
blah, blah. Let's go.
out in Indiana, the Sprint halftime report presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
The Heat have magnificent
Tibbs
talent,
looks
but even
pretty
coming off an
Guido.
NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great team until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Outside Rose. Pass to Butler. Back to Rose. He kicks it to Noah. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Dang dishes to Rose. 5 to shoot. Noah kicks to Dang. Outside Butler. Drills it from outside. And now a 10-point Bulls lead.
The defenders need to talk to each other. The communication lacking there on that three-pointer.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
Now Chalmers. Fires from deep. But they recover it. Here's Bosch. Rebound by Butler.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
Rose against Wade. Rose passes to Dang. Rose dishes to Noah. Outside Dang. Passes it to Butler. Back to Dang. From past the arc. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. And it's Rose penetrating with 1 on the clock. Wade with the defensive effort. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year. You know, Battier coming in here as a stretch 4. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
And Luol Deng gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. And Chalmers kicks to Battier. He dishes it to LeBron. 6 on the shot clock.
The defense has really locked down on them this half. I mean, they've zoned in and been very solid clamping down. I think they need to look to get into the lane a little more so they can get some high percentage shots.
Here's Rose with nobody on him. He buries the jumper. Rose has got 9.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve. And look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. First in field goal percentage, second in three-point field goal percentage, and they were ranked 3rd in the league in steals. This is a team that does a nice job gambling and covering up for each other. That's why they're able to come up with those steals.
And Clark, the key number that you just talked about to me is field goal percentage. When you're the best in the league shooting the basketball, it's a clear sign that you have an unselfish team and a clear plan of attack. That club, very impressive with their offensive efficiency.
Outside Butler. Back to Rose. There's the dish to Noah. It's tipped. And now the fast break. LeBron with the ball. Butler with the block. And it's out of bounds.
Get that shit out of here.
Change possession. And the Heat with some changes. Oden comes in for Chris Bosh. That's Haslam for Shane Battier. Oden, a screen on Boozer. Double team on Wade. There's the pass to Chalmers. Clock at 6. LeBron outside. It's stolen by Dang. Rose with the ball. Now guarded by Mario Chalmers. And Boozer gets it to go. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
You also can't overlook how well they defended the rim. They've challenged virtually every shot in the paint.
The Heat shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
Shane Battier is checked in for the Heat.
Wow, that's good tips if I've ever seen one. Maybe from 10 years ago.
Wade, no good on the free throw.
Guys, how about the Bulls being able to nab the 5th seed in the East last season, in large part due to how they were able to play on the road. Of course, when you play tough, solid defense like they do, it makes it easier to be competitive and string together road wins.
Here's Chalmers. Rebound by Butler. Butler's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Rose kicks to Butler. Back to Rose. He lobs it up and finished off by Noah.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
The Heat trail by 14. And for the Bulls, defense is one of the few things in the NBA that can neutralize a home court advantage. And Steve, a big part of why they had the success they had on the road.
Yeah, they went 21-20 away from the United Center, and one of only 5 teams in the entire East who managed to stay above 500 away from home. That's a real tribute to this team and the coaching staff.
It's Boozer missing.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
And Chalmers kicks to Battier. His 3-pointers off the mark. Here's Chicago. They're on a 13-4 run right now. Right side Rose. Back to Butler. 6 to shoot. Feeds to Rose.
I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Chicago calls timeout.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guys. He's still developing his outside shot, but he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Noah. And Taj Gibson is subbed in for Carlos Boozer. The Heat trail by 14. Battier outside. He feeds it to LeBron. Muhammad's there. LeBron kicks to Chalmers. Lets it go from deep. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Chalmers has got his 3rd basket of the night right there. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach would take him in, another family would take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette, it speaks volumes of his character.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. You just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team.
Well, now they're just going to town on him.
Yeah, you'd think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
The feed to Wade. Back to LeBron. It's stolen by Dang. To the middle. That's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Chicago. Butler passes to Gibson. The kick out to Rose. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Pass to Gibson. Dishes it to Butler. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. The Bulls making a switch here. Noah's checked in. We've got 28 seconds left in the third quarter. And Chalmers kicks to Wade. Double team on Wade. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game. Chalmers against Rose. Here's Bosch, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam. They'd love to get more of those as easy as 2 points possible. And on a fierce finish.
Yeah, and that's exactly how they're going to cut into the lead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's why they've got to tighten up their D. And I'd be surprised if the defense allows any more free runs to the hoop like that.
With 1 on the clock. Off on that one. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Bulls lead. And the final period of play just about to start. The Heat trail by 9. Kicks it to LeBron. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
I love when he takes the ball inside. That's when he seems to really get on a roll.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for Mike Dunleavy.
Much has been made about the show LeBron puts out during games, but he also puts on a spectacle in his pregame routine. Last season, he and others started pulling out all the stops and dunking in the pregame warm-up in an effort to break a sweat.
Rose. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. And Clark, you mentioned the pregame dunks for LeBron, a devastating finisher. Some have asked why he's never competed in the All-Star Slam Dunk competition. In fact, I say that every Saturday night I'm sitting on that microphone. Why isn't LeBron in this competition?
Wouldn't it be nice? In fact, I think, didn't Magic Johnson even put up a $1 million incentive for him to compete? Yeah, it would be incredible to see him. I don't know. I think it's become almost a chore for players these days to enter, but it would be fantastic to see him out there.
You know, one of the things that's really hard to do in the NBA, it's actually one of the hardest things to do in the NBA, is to stay in front of Derrick Rose. I mean, it's not just his burst of speed or his quick first step, but he's got one of the meanest, nastiest, filthiest crossovers in the entire league. And then you add his strength and explosiveness in the air to that, that's lethal.
That's good.
So I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
The Heat trail by 8. He kicks to Haslam. He passes to Chalmers. And it's blocked. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Chalmers against Rose. That doesn't go either for Rose. And for Rose, as he returns from his knee injury, you wonder how that'll affect his ability to blow by defenders, which is such a great quality he possessed prior to the injury. Shooting from the outside is solid, but he hasn't been elite to this point in his career with that shot, so there's a lot of unknowns still about his game, and being so young, you expect that.
It's going to be an adjustment, Kevin. I mean, you have to find your confidence after an injury like that. I think he is going to be a better shooter because if there was one thing he could work on while he was out, it's that outside jump shot. But we got to give him some time to just get his confidence and find his game again.
Here's Chalmers. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
You know, they really aren't putting up any resistance on the low block. That's the 5th consecutive basket inside.
And Steve, these looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Here's Rose. Boozer dishes to Noah. And out of bounds as the Heat gain possession. And
Boozer's
over to check
mentally
out Miami, who
retarded
they've got
in this
coming
game.
up. And they're off to Philadelphia after this game as they'll take on the 76ers. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip.
Tell you, I'll be looking forward to seeing how that Brooklyn game turns out.
The Heat trail by 6. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. Allen kicks to Chalmers. Pass to Bosch. Shot clock at 6. He sinks the 11-footer.
His shooting has been so good today. He may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
Rose goes in. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Punches it down with pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
Well, they're not backing off at all, are they?
The Heat have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the 4th quarter on a roll. Dang against LeBron. Pass to Battier. Back to LeBron. Heat moving the ball around. Allen for the 3. And the Heat, another 3.
Boy, he found a perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the defense.
Rose against Chalmers. He dishes it to Gibson. Rose goes in. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Rose has got 11 in the second half.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
LeBron passes to Bosch. Back to LeBron. There's the dish to Bosch. LeBron outside. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. That's going to send LeBron James to the line. They get Lou all done.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. With the game still up for grabs, he simply told his guys, we're right there. Stay focused, execute, and get it done. Kevin, let's see how it plays out.
Rose kicks it to Noah. And the pass to Gibson. Feeds to Rose. Clock at 6. Back to Gibson. Pass to Noah. With the fadeaway. Another shot. Shot's good by Gibson. And the Bulls lead by 4.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Chalmers dishes to Battier. He feeds it to Bosch. Almost, but it rolls out. And for LeBron James this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage
In one,
climb
bitch.
as a result. The low post work, I think the selection too, shoots fewer three-pointers but a higher percentage. So now,
timeout.
how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package.
Dwayne Wade's checked in for Ray Allen. The Heat trail by 6. Here's Chalmers. Bosch passes to LeBron. The feed to Wade. Fires from the line. No good off the back of the rim.
He's got a nice touch on that shot normally, but good defense there clogging the lane.
Butler kicks to Gibson. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there.
Got bumped real bad.
Basically walked out of bounds.
Heat have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. To the paint. And there's Mario Chalmers on the assist by LeBron. LeBron's got 3 assists now in this one. The Bulls leading by 4. Rose dishes to Butler. Kicks it to Dang. Back to Butler. Pass to Rose. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. For Miami, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. Chalmers' shot is no good. Bulls have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Chicago calls timeout.
Yeah, he definitely saw some things that were not working for them out there, and now he's going to make some adjustments.
I'm not sure what it was, but he clearly wanted something to change out there.
Rose attacking. Knocks down the 10-footer. Rose has got 13 points now in the quarter.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
And the Heat call time here. They're losing by 6. There's 1:54 left to play in the final quarter. Carlos Beasley's checked in for Chicago. .151 left here in the fourth quarter. Bosch passes to Wade. Dishes it to Chalmers. From 12 feet out, Chicago grabs the miss. They've led by as many as 14 points. LeBron against Rose. Outside Butler. Back to Rose. Double team on Rose. Butler. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 7th assist in the game. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Wade left side. Back to LeBron. 6 to shoot. Rebound by Carlos Boozer.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
Well, you get more rebounds, you get more possessions, more shots at the hoop, and oftentimes that decides the game.
Butler dishes to Rose. Back to Butler. He kicks it to Rose. Bulls moving the ball around. And Butler gets it to go.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
And that is good. 23 seconds left to play here in the fourth. The clock now can just run out for the Bulls. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Gets the first, and that will push the lead to double digits. And a new group getting ready for Miami. And Rose drops them both.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
Miami has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Stolen by Rose.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
And the first one drops. And the Heat making a change here. And Rose drops them both. Here's Cole. Can't get it to fall. And so Chicago takes.
All right, that's first game of the year. Haha, loser. Anyway, pro level, max settings on PC looks pretty damn good to me. To get the controller set up right, it should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and share with all your friends.
But first, let's reveal the Jordan player of the game, Derrick Rose.
friends, new strings, new watch just to keep up with the paces. New game plan off the new places. I got a feeling I could win this race. I found my pace. The only thing that you could do for me is please stay about my way. Don't come around my way unless you got. Basketball season has
Beautiful.
returned.